former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, wanted on Thursday. The former governor was declared wanted in connection with the alleged case of money laundering to the tune of 80.2 billion naira. Let's talk this through by speaking with an APC chieftain, a lawyer, Barrister Jesutega Onopasa. Thank you so much for joining us. Who is joining us from Abuja studio. It's good to have you on Standpoint.
Thanks for having me. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. So let me start by asking you, based on the issues going on in Kogi State between the former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, vis-a-vis the EFCC concerning the 80.2 billion naira allegation. You know, the former governor of Kogi State had been declared wanted by the Economic Financial Crimes Commission for evading arrest. But some Nigerians have said that if he has a restraining order that has not been vacated, by higher courts, the EFCC had no right to carry out the operations of Wednesday and Thursday. What exactly do you make of this developing story?
Well, it's not even merely some Nigerians who said if he has a restraining order, the EFCC ought not to arrest him. As far as I'm even aware, I'm the first person to even raise that issue. If a person has a court order that says you ought not to arrest him, arraign him, or prosecute him, you have just one remedy, for God's sake. You go to court. You can either go to that same court to vacate his order. If the court doesn't listen to you, you can go on appeal. But we cannot have a system where people thump their noses at a court of law. Assuming a weird scenario, Yahaya Bello is from Kogi State. Now, when you are talking about arrest, you are talking about the liberty of a human being. So automatically, you are talking about fundamental human rights. And when it comes to fundamental human rights, any court has jurisdiction. I heard one lawyer the other day saying that a state high court cannot interfere into something of a federal agency. Is Yahaya Bello a federal civil servant? Is he an employee of the federal government? He's a citizen of Kogi State. If his human rights are about to be violated, which law says that the High Court of Kogi State cannot intervene? What? They should cut his throat first before a court will intervene. So the court, as far as I'm concerned, and I stand not to be corrected, every court has jurisdiction when it comes to fundamental human rights. Now, let's even imagine an absurd scenario where, let's say, the customary court in Orerokpe, in Lokpe local government, in Delta State, where former governor Yahaya Bello does not even reside. If it had assumed jurisdiction, which to any lawyer would immediately seem as if this court is acting ultra virus. And then it has said, customary court, remember what I'm saying. And he said, don't arrest him. Who is EFCC? Who is Kemi Pinero to thump their noses at a court? It's a court of law, for God's sake. If a court of law says, don't arrest somebody, nobody in the Federal Republic of Nigeria has a right to touch that person. You go to court and vacate the order. We are not a police state. We are not a nation of barbarians, of lawless people.
But looking at the EFCC, back in the day where they effected arrests, breaking into the homes of whoever they want to arrest, and we've seen that in the time past. Do you not feel that the EFCC is being subtle in their bid to arrest the former governor of Kogi State? Do you not feel they are just being lenient in about this?
Lenient to whom? My brother, we have rights. Nobody's doing anybody any favor. You don't do a policeman, a law enforcement, whoever, the Attorney General of the Federation, our overall boss at the bar, he does nobody any favors by obeying the law. That's our right under the law. Being lenient as how. Can you imagine the show of shame? They claim that Yahaya Bello was at home. Nobody has shown anybody any video of Yahaya Bello being at home. Yahaya Bello might not even have been at that premises at that material time. Then they came there. These are supposed to be EFCC operatives with their red uniform, our uniform. That is the official uniform of an agency of the state. Then you see some of them wearing bandana with skull. I mean, are you a thug? Are you 1 million boys, Awada boys? You are Black Axe or AA, or for God's sake. You are an institution of the state. You are law enforcement. The motto of the EFCC is no one is above the law. Well, that starts with the EFCC itself. The EFCC, Oladipeku Olukoyede, my learned friend, is not above the law. Neither is Kemi Pinero SAN. What is he saying? He's going to use army to do what? Who are you threatening with army? Can you imagine a learned Sikh that is going to use army to do what? Is he, excuse me, is he admitting that the EFCC cannot apprehend a suspect according to law, that he's going to use army to be chasing? Who are all these people threatening? There is a procedure. Okay, you see, this is the problem with this EFCC. And I thought that with Olukoyede coming there will be some improvement. But in fact, he has proven to be a complete disappointment thus far. If he's not jailing a hermaphrodite, he or she is arraigning a barman for spraying money. Spraying money. That one is what destroyed Nigeria. Spraying somebody's own property. Then the cross-dresser was misadvised to plead guilty. What are you pleading guilty for? Challenge the law. It's your property. It's not your money. Challenge the validity of the law itself. Who are all these people? This is not how to enforce the law. Please. The man, Yaya Bello had a valid court order that said he ought not to be arrested. And he, as a law-abiding citizen, he is entitled to place reliance on that court order. And nobody ought to even go near his house until vacating that order. That's how the law works.
Right. We'll take that, your assessment of the current EFCC, especially the leadership of the EFCC, we'll take that as your own personal reflective opinion. But then the Nigeria Police Force, because the breaking news that we have here is saying that the Nigeria Police Force has detained a female police officer who served as the aide-de-camp to former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello, and also arrested alongside other police officers assigned to him and currently held at the State Criminal Investigation Department in Abuja. Would you at this point in time advise Mr. Yahaya Bello to turn himself in, at least for him to be able to clear something?
I am not beautiful. Now, I am not in contact with Yahaya Bello, okay? Every lawyer in this world knows how the law works. And the law does not work by gangsterism. It doesn't work by, we don't practice law. We don't enforce the law like a bunch of agberus at a motor park. If an institution is a creation of the law, then that institution, it behoves on that institution more than any other to follow the law. You can't just have a system where people start trying to create fear and intimidation on citizens. Who the hell are you intimidating? Who are you? You yourself, you are under the law. Okay? Now, whatever anybody has been arrested, that person is a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That person has rights. If you don't have evidence against the person, you are wasting your time. If you say, I'm even hearing another news that Yahaya Bello was supposed to be was apparently in Kogi State when they were laying siege to. I mean, does the EFCC not have intelligence? You want to arrest Yahaya Bello? Are you sure you are permitted in law to arrest him? If you are sure, you don't know how to arrest him, must you go and act a home video, stage a home video in front of his house with all kinds of people wearing a skull and crossbones? So
are you dismissing the report that the incumbent governor, Usman Ododo, helped his former boss, Yahaya Bello, to evade the arrest of
Good God. Good God. There is no evidence of that. Now, the news report said that Governor Ododo drove into Yaya's house. One, I have no evidence before me that Yaya was even in the house. I don't have any evidence that Ododo you see, I'm a lawyer. I don't deal in the realm of speculation or sensationalism. I don't know whether Ododo went into his house. Even if assuming without considering that Ododo went into his house, Ododo has freedom of movement. Now, if you say that Ododo smuggled his predecessor from the house, do you have proof of that, for God's sake? All these things is just rumor. Somebody just types a tweet. He says, I hand yourself over. Who told you Yahaya Bello is even running away from the law? He had a court judgment. The court judgment said that he ought not. If I have, even me, I don't even need a court judgment. Me, I know law. So if you can't arrest me, you can't arrest me. I'm wasting your time. Not to talk of when I have a valid court judgment. Why should I cooperate with you to disrespect the court? So all those ones, they are within the realm of speculation. There is nobody has any evidence that Ododo even went there. Nobody has any evidence that Ododo there, that even Yahaya Bello was there. Then Ododo now smuggled Yahaya. I mean, what sort of nonsense is that? This thing is just a comedy of errors.
Right, Barrister Onokpasa, if you recall on Thursday, Governor Usman Ododo was supposed to be in Ondo State, although he's currently in Ondo State, conducting the primary election for the party in the state ahead of the governorship election. But he wasn't there on Thursday. He was represented by his deputy, who said that he couldn't make it at that point in time when he was the chairman of the primary, that he wasn't there due to security situation. Based on what the deputy said it was due to security challenge. Could you not, is this not connected one way or the other to ensuring that Mr. Bello wasn't arrested or wasn't picked up by the EFCC?
Yes, you are not talking as a journalist. To me, that is neither here nor there. Because if for instance, you were saying this in the court of law, I'm sorry, with all due respect, it will be flushed down the toilet. Nobody's going to take it seriously. It's just speculative. If he is in charge of a state, Governor Usman Ododo is in charge of a state that is bigger than the whole of the Southeast. If I was his lawyer, I'm not his lawyer. I'm not even wholly brief for him. If I was his lawyer, and then he had his deputy, said due to security reasons, he has this huge state to administer. The security reason could have anything to do with anywhere in his state. A state that is bigger than an entire one of our 6 geopolitical zones. What does he have to do with Yahaya Bello? You see, let me just tell you what is happening in this matter. Some people just feel that even this 80 billion, I don't know where Olukoyede and his people got this.
For the record, 80.2
hello?
billion. Yeah, I'm just trying to give you the exact figure, 80.2 billion. Yeah.
Got that utter nonsense from? Because I don't know how rich Kogi State is, that Yahaya Bello would have in fact, the way the narrative is as if within a few months of even becoming governor, he had succeeded in removing 80 billion. I don't know what is the budget of Kogi State. I know that my own state, Delta, is far, far richer than Kogi State. Delta is probably the richest state as per allocation. Then by the time you add 13%, you add this. It is only in IGRO that a state like Lagos would top it, or maybe Rivers too. But if it is Kogi State, I don't see where anybody is going to see 80 billion to remove from Kogi State. Now, that is really immaterial. If somebody has actually, we are not condoning corruption. If somebody has actually stolen money, we should retrieve the money from him back to the good people of Kogi State. However, we will do it according to law. We are not going to break the law. Nobody is going to start intimidating anybody, saying you're going to use army to chase who. I mean, shame on you. What are you saying? You are a senior lawyer.
Right. Let me just bring you an excerpt of a report which says hundreds of human rights activists on Saturday hit the streets of Lagos to condemn what they described as the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission's anti-democratic approaches to issues of law enforcement, as well as unjust application of state power by the federal government as regards the arrest which they try to effect of the former governor of Kogi State. But in your own final thoughts, your own final submission, how would you advise the EFCC to go about this, as well as the former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, in order to ensure that this issue is brought to a full stop? Because if they say it is a witch hunt, He is a member of the APC, and the incumbent party, the ruling party in Nigeria, is APC. That could probably have been a witch hunt, do you think?
Well, I don't know. Now, what I know is that Yahaya Bello is a member of my party. And me, I don't use and dump people. Anybody that helped my President Bola Tinubu, to win election, and we won our election hands down, is my brother. Yahaya Bello helped. As well known as I am, as an Asiwaju supporter, I will still yield center stage to Yahaya Bello because Yahaya Bello contributed more to Asiwaju's win as far as I'm concerned. That's the politics of it. When it comes to the law, I really don't have any advice for EFCC. I don't have their time. They are just, I don't know what the hell they think they are doing there. But they will learn their lessons. Is it not Mohammed Adoke that was discharged and acquitted the other day? This guy just make noise. Instead of them to concentrate, investigate a case, do something proper, they think they can intimidate people and start talking utter nonsense. They don't know, they as if everybody will just start running. Who are you? What law do you know? Go and sit down. Now, if it's Yaya, all the only advice I have for Yaya is obey the law. If you have a court judgment and the court judgment says nobody should arrest you, whoever wants to arrest you, let that person go and vacate the order. Nobody should disrespect our judiciary. That's all. I don't have any evidence. I'm not going to start putting Yahaya Bello's integrity and assume that it's running away. People just spin these narratives. Who even said Yahaya Bello was running away from anybody? Did anybody see him running? The man had a court judgment, for God's sake. Somebody has a whole court of law. He says, don't arrest me. Am I not entitled to rely on that judgment? Then is Olukoyede a court of law? Is Kevin Pinero a court of law? What's wrong with these people?
Your point is made. It's very instructive to know that the EFCC is not about one person. It's an agency of government which would definitely always want to, carry out its duties and responsibilities.
Yes, but the place is really, really, really messed up. It's really messed up. Right. And it should be rocked up from top to bottom.
Lawyer, Barrister Jesu Tega Onokpasa, APC chieftain, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me, my brother. Thanks for having me.
And thank you to our audience for your company. That's Standpoint this week. Remember, you can watch the repeat broadcast at 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. on Sunday morning. Thanks for watching. I'm Ibrahim Shita. Bye for now.